Yo, this is JSF, and I'm here today to talk about Mortal Kombat 11. So the game looks amazing. We all saw the big reveal of it, and everybody's being stoked about all the new features, everything they're seeing in the gameplay, story trailers. But there's one thing that I've noticed that I haven't really seen anybody comment on. I haven't really seen anyone cover. I've seen one video mention it, and they didn't really go into any detail about it. So it's just something I noticed, and it's not an actual complete confirmation or deconfirmation, but it's a pretty high chance of this. And that's just, I was watching some gameplay. I watch every other YouTuber. So shout out to Dynasty. I was watching his video. He's doing the Towers of Time, and I'm going to use his footage just because it demonstrates exactly what I'm talking about. And the Towers of Time is basically the new Living Towers type feature, or like with fighting with the modifiers on. And if you remember in Mortal Kombat X, there are modifiers as well. So the thing about the modifiers are, in Mortal Kombat 11, there are two different types. Well, there's a few different types, but I'm talking about two different types. So there's one where a character shows up and assists you, like a Sub-Zero assist, a Scorpion assist. And these are confirmed playable characters who you see. There's another type of assist where just a special move pops up on the screen, and that's it. No character, no character model, just a move. And that's reminiscent of the modifiers that were in MKX. And the thing about all the characters that have modifiers, their special moves, like an assist for them, it meant the characters weren't playable. So there's a good chance that the characters that have modifiers in this mode are not playable. And there's also a screenshot of like the characters, and like they have a small little icon, and all of their icons are from their MKX designs, not like a new design that would be in this game. So that's just another like kind of nod saying, hey, you're probably not seeing a new version of them. But for the modifiers in Mortal Kombat 11, so we see Reptile's Force Ball, we see Rain's Water Bubble, which is purple now for some reason, we see Shinnok's Bone Hand, and we see Cyrax's Net. So just taking these characters for who they are, and let's just stop and think for a second. Shinnok, I think we all can figure out, isn't playable. He was the boss in the last game. Seems like the story starts off with him being decapitated and left for dead, even though he can't die. So I think we know he's not playable, and he's one of these modifiers. So sharing things with him is probably a bad look. Cyrax is Triborg, I don't think they would do twice. It was great and everybody liked it, but I don't think they would just rehash the exact same idea. But it is possible. Rain, a lot of people were saying, hey, on the Conquer, on the front screen of the game, you see Rain standing there. And you do 100% see him standing there. Most of the other characters you see are playable characters. But with Rain, it does look like even in that picture, his design is kind of his MKX design and nothing new. Like you see Kano with a new design, you see Cassie with a new design, you see all these characters with new designs, and Rain looks the same. So it's just another bad look. But for Reptile, I don't really have anything to say other than I think Baraka's voice actor sounds exactly like Reptile. So I'm just throwing that out there. But one thing I do want to point out is another thing that NetherRealm does that you may have noticed but may not have paid too much attention to, is if a character isn't in a game, another character might have moves for them. So like Rain's move in Mortal Kombat 9, and I'll try to link it, I'll try to post it as I'm saying this, where he has a move where he kicks all directly up in the air, like shoots water downwards and just goes straight up. Now, Sub-Zero has a move in this game that's exactly like that, but he shoots ice down. And usually when another character has moves that are yours or just like yours, it's probably because you're not in the game. I mean, an extreme example would be Mournful Katana, but, there are more mild examples. I just don't have any off the top of my head right now. So the other thing that makes me so, sure about this is just that in MKX we had these same modifiers, like I said, but the modifiers were Striker Assist, Smoke Assist, Cabal Assist, Rain again, and Cyrax again. Now, Cyrax did eventually become playable as part of Triborg's DLC, but this is pre-launch stuff. I'm not saying none of these Reptile, Rain, Cyrax, I'm not saying they can't be DLC. That's possible. But I'm saying in the base roster, it's a good chance they're not in it. Just like Strikers, Smoke, Cabal, Brain, Cyrax were not in MKX, and they have modifiers in that game, and they're the same way. They just popped in off screen. It's like they're doing the same thing with that. So, it isn't concrete, it isn't 100% certain, but I think there's a really good chance that these characters are not going to be in the game. I think this is the closest we're going to get to a deconfirmation until we see the full roster. And yeah, I just think that that's more than likely what's going on. I didn't really see anybody else talking about this. I was going to mention Ermac in this video too, but I don't have as much evidence. He didn't have a modifier or anything, but I will say that Raiden has a float stance that's really similar to Ermac's. So just like I said about Mournful Katana, like when you're not in the game, somebody else has your moves. So that might be a possibility too. Just something to think about. I mean, the roster is probably going to be amazing anyway, but I wouldn't hold my breath for Reptile, Rain, or Cyrax, or Shinnok for that matter, but just throwing that out there. Anyway, if you guys have any feedback, any questions, anything you want to let me know, anything else, if you disagree, you think I'm completely wrong in making this up, feel free to like, dislike, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, other than that, you guys have fun.